All of our energy problems are solved. Now, let me read this. A report teasing a breakthrough in the search for viable nuclear fusion. What is the difference between fission and fusion? Fission, we have nuclear power plants. They can go out of control. You need the control rods and everything else. If that goes bad, it goes really bad. Fusion, however, just stops. So you can stop it at any time. And, well, I'll get into it later. In the past 2 weeks, according to reports, scientists at a federal facility in California, not a private facility, but a federal facility in California, were able to produce more energy than the amount of energy put into the experiment using laser beams to ignite a fusion reaction with a small amount of hydrogen plasma. This net energy gain, which has eluded physicists for decades, was achieved at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory and signals the emergence of a technology that could become a zero-carbon alternative to fossil fuels. Though the scientists stress that fusion power stations are decades away from becoming a reality. People inside and outside of the scientific community celebrated the news, though with a healthy dose of caution. The report offers some reason to be careful, as two of its sources said the greater than expected energy output of 2.5 megajoules of energy in an experiment using 2.1 megajoules of energy in the lasers damaged some of the diagnostic equipment. Okay, so what does that mean? It means the equipment that was diagnosing how much energy is being produced broke. So they can't be sure that it produced. Well, that's okay. We'll just do it again. Well, they did do it again. And initial diagnostic data suggests another successful experiment at the National Ignition Facility. However, the exact yield, meaning how much more energy did it produce than the energy it took, is still being determined, and we can't confirm that it is over the threshold at the time. So in other words, the first time we couldn't measure it because it broke. The second time, we haven't confirmed yet that it's over the threshold of the energy that we used. But celebrate. Okay, I would say, hold on. Let's not celebrate. I mean, not quite yet. What we're looking at here is fusion, if it is a reality, fusion at a very small scale. That's good. House-sized or even car scale, nuclear fusion would be fantastic. Remember Mr. Fusion on the top of the DeLorean when Doc came back in the Back to the Future 2? Fusion could mean you could run an electric car for 100,000 hours without a charge, or a phone you'd need to plug in for a couple of hours once a year. Commercial planes just needing to recharge electrically once a year, no gas. This could fundamentally transform everything. However, this is an odd government announcement, as you will find out here in a minute. Generally speaking, also, as a guy who likes the private sector, I don't like the idea that this is coming from the government. First of all, I don't trust the government. The government is in black ops all the time. Now, the other reason is because, if the lame duck Congress wanted to pass a new spending bill for organic energy, before the new Congress comes, would you be for it? No, we organic energy. We are on the cusp of organic. I wouldn't spend a dime with them. Just like we shouldn't have spent a dime on all those solar panels. They have a tendency of doing this. If some $600,000 grant given to some no-name blah, blah, blah student from MIT resulted in repeatable nuclear fusion, okay, good. I hope this works. I hope this works. I would rather have it come from a private company than the United States government, but I'll take it from either one, quite honestly. But I don't believe it. And here's one of the reasons. I was reading a story from Morgan Stanley. It is from their equity research department. And it's a story on what's next for ESG. And I read this Saturday, and there was just a chart that shows what's coming between now and 2040. So this is the ESG, World Economic, and Morgan Stanley chart on what's happening to curb global warming. So from 2020 to 2022, they're into geoengineering and bioengineering. Those sound good. Then next year, 2023 to 2028, carbon removal and cooling techniques, and synthetic biology and synthetic foods are going to be on the table. Okay, 2023 to 2028, we're launching into synthetic foods. Oh, I didn't think we were doing. Yes, we are. Then
are the synthetic foods when we finally get our bug burgers?
Yes.
Okay.
2029 and 2034. We get the smart grid hardware and software. So the smart grid can make sure that your house is never over a temperature that the government wants it to be. Okay? Also, synthetic biology and manufacturing. Then we get to 2035 and 2040. Now remember, this is a Morgan Stanley chart based on World Economic Forum, what they're planning on doing. Between 2035 and 2040, fusion reactors provide baseload power. Now, this stuck out to me when I read this on Saturday because I was like, wow, didn't know we had fusion reactors. That's pretty quick. And then the next day I read that we're going to announce tomorrow we have fusion, possibility of fusion. Even though it's decades away, the World Economic Forum says in 2035, we'll have fusion reactors, which will provide base load power. They are counting on fusion reactors providing the baseline of the power for the world. And then they're also going to be working on disease vector re-engineering. So that'll be good. We'll have more Wuhans out there. That'll be fantastic. So what do you think? I look at that chart and say one of three things. First one, I don't believe that we've had fusion power for a long time and the evil oil companies have kept it at bay. I don't believe that. Two, they're just lying to you. And there's nothing with fusion reactors. Nothing going on there. I don't believe that one. The third one is we are close to fusion. We are close. But close is like, I think Jesus is returning. Yeah, that could be in a couple of years. That could be in 1,000 years. But we're close. Fusion, we're close. But what does that mean? What they're doing is, I believe, and I hope I'm wrong, what I believe they're doing is they believe they're close, and so they're just telling you, oh, look how close we are, to give you hope that we're not going to have energy problems and all starve to death because of this crazy climate change policy. They're giving you hope that, oh, no. We're going to have baseline power in 10 years. And America's going to be the one. So, rah, rah, America. I think they are bluffing. They are counting on it. They are hoping for it. But they don't believe it. They don't believe it. And I don't believe it. I hope I'm wrong.
So, Glenn, what would the reason be for them to be faking confidence or overconfidence in their ability to develop fusion technology? What's the point of that?
Okay, let me just give you some headlines. Biden administration will ban fossil fuel use in new federal buildings by 2030. No fossil fuel use in federal buildings by 2030. Jeep lays off 1,350 workers at an Illinois plant, citing the rising costs of electric vehicle production. Try this one. Deportation of criminal illegal aliens, way down under Biden. The price of wholesale goods jumps more than expected as inflation persists. Report, Pentagon worries Russian released in prisoner swap may return to arms trafficking. China and Saudi Arabia sign strategic partnership as President Xi visits the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. There's nothing but bad news on the horizon. There is nothing. We have said, for a long time, I've said, where is the president that will point to the sky and say, we are going to the moon and return a man within the decade? That gives America, especially a collective version of America, hope. This is hope. Hope and belief in your country, because your country is the one that has funded it and has pioneered it, and we're leading the world. I think this is brilliant strategy.
Well, they certainly isn't Jennifer Granholm going to be there? Like, this is an administration event.
Oh, yeah, no.
Quite
Jennifer,
clearly.
she's the one announcing it tomorrow.
Right, that's what I mean. So that they are putting that together. That certainly supports that. And to your point of it, maybe they are making some progress. Maybe they believe they're close. And this is the way to draw in industry,
public private partnerships,
and including financing in future bills. They'll throw money at this as well.
This is the Manhattan Project, okay? And we can debate that. But the way this is being done, I believe this is, they are creating a Chinese-style partnership government program. They need to lie to us to get there. Instead of saying, we believe this can be done, and it can be done if we combine the money and the ingenuity of DARPA and the money and the engineering required from the private sector. We want to work together like they did, with McDonnell Douglas and everything else for the moonshot. Mm-hmm. Instead, they are lying to us and saying, look, I think we found it. Now we got to funnel money into it. That's what this is going to be, announcement of a giant program tomorrow. By the way, in some of the stories, it will actually state that a significant amount of money from the Inflation Reduction Act has already gone into the fusion research. Really? Wow.
I thought we were
psychic
reducing inflation with that act. No.
New technology.
Well, it's important to have moonshots. This actually reminds me of one of Joe Biden's other moonshots we can check on the progress on right now. Has Joe Biden cured cancer.com. If you go there, you can check at any point during your day, has Joe Biden cured cancer, as he promised during the campaign.
Yeah, he said, no joke. He prefaced it with no joke.
No joke. We're going to cure cancer if I'm elected.
Right.
He was elected. So there he is. He's the president of the United States.
Has he cured cancer?
Has Joe Biden cured cancer? No. Cancer still exists as of this day.
So this is a great example. I believe we're going to cure cancer. I think we could cure cancer maybe by 2030, maybe earlier than that. Maybe a few years later. I'm always bad with timing. But we will cure cancer. Quantum computing will cure cancer. Quantum computing is here. It's beginning to find usefulness. When that happens, we will cure cancer. So what is he doing? He knows what I know, and anybody who talks to futurists or, reads futurists, that is coming. So what is he saying? The government, with me as president, the government will cure cancer.
So taking credit for essentially these advancements that were coming anyway.
I believe this announcement is. We're close. We just got to double our efforts. But the secret is they are counting. They, according to the World Economic Forum, they are counting on fusion providing the base load by 2035. So in 12 years, by the way, that's a decade and 2 years. When scientists warn us in the stories today that even if this is accurate, which we don't know, it will take decades to be able to build a fusion power plant. Decades. What do we do in the meantime? What are those federal buildings going to do without any fossil fuel in 2030? How are you going to power? I am fine for freezing those people out. Do we have another shuttle of coal? Absolutely not. Do you want to destroy the planet? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Scrooge. I'm fine with all federal buildings not having the power. Oh, their computers are down? Oh, shoot. They can't get anything done? Oh, crap. Are they too cold? They want to stay home? Oh, gee. I am all for it. But what is Joe Biden planning on using for power in 2030? 7 years from today.